Hey guys, Cat Angel, Southern Angels Paranormal. This is it's gonna be a different um video to um say the least. Um I have I need to be sure it's let me be sure that because I don't have a chat room, which I will open the chat room after um after we're done. Okay. I mean, after I can't be distracted at all when doing this. Y'all know how easy I get distracted. And if there's chat over here, I'm gonna be reading it, and then but I will open the chat up after I deliver the message that I need to deliver. I will open. It'll be open to questions, what have you. Um, this thing that happened on Sunday is by far the most profound thing that has ever happened to me. Now, when I was going into this, um, I was skeptical. You always have to be a skeptic. Um, I think you need to be skeptical of it. Well, certainly regarding this. Okay. Um, you have to be skeptical in order to you have to keep an open mind. At the same time, we have the gift of discernment, um, meaning if you come in contact, like if I'm investigating somebody's home or what have you, um, when you walk in, if there's something evil there, many people can discern what that is. Okay, if it's good or if it's of evil. And this was not the case at all going into this. So let me tell you a little bit. I will tell you if you don't know about this, and a lot of people do not know about it. Um, I want to tell you the premise for this, what I call, and again, this is my um, opinion because I experienced it and I witnessed it firsthand, and I'm still really humble and I'm still really blown away by what happened. Um, yeah, I'm still pretty blown away, but I wanted to give myself 3 days of reflection and 3 days of knowing for sure what happened really happened. Because as far as like me um, investigating things that are paranormal, there couldn't be anything more supernatural or paranormal than what I just experienced. It's not of this what we experience here on Earth as a human. Um, we don't live in like biblical times, so to speak. So we don't see miracles like they did in when Jesus was walking, the earth. Um, those kind of miracles were a long, long time ago. But and I've taught my friends know this. It's like religion is not something that or politics is something that I like sit here and openly talk about. Okay. But this I don't have any I have choice, but I don't have any choice but to share this with you. If you are in my message, I know that it's going to reach somebody who needs to hear this and see this and witness this. Um, about 2 years ago in Dalton, Georgia, a little small town in Dalton, Georgia, there became a something that happened in a Christian bookstore. This is where it started. Okay. Um, any small town anywhere, or big town for that matter, usually have Christian bookstores, right? So on Sundays and during the week, there was a back room at the back of the bookstore, and there was a broom closet that the lady who owned the bookstore had made into a place where you could go in there and focus and pray and what have you. And if you want to know what my shirt says, "In ocean deep, my faith will stand." Okay. I don't know that y'all have ever seen me with anything that has anything religious, anything on my channel. That does not represent, I just don't talk about it. So anyway, and this is really, really hard for me to do because I know that there will be a high amount of critical analysis of what I'm going to say. But any amount of ridicule, any amount of hate, any amount of anything that I get, I can shoulder that. I can shoulder that. So if I lose subscribers, whatever, I don't care. It's that important. So in the back of this Christian bookstore, in the middle of Dalton, Georgia, in the broom closet, which was a prayer room, and then the bigger area that was a prayer room, the lady who owned the Christian bookstore saw like a drip of oil coming out of the wall. Well, she thought something got on it, so she wiped it away. When she wiped it away, she came back a little bit later. It wasn't like, running water, but it was a drip oil coming out of the wall. Okay. And she didn't want to tell anybody at her church about it because she didn't want them to think she was dabbling in witchcraft or that there was something evil going on or what have you. So she didn't, for a while, she didn't say anything. Well, then I guess that God decided, well, okay, I'm going to have to make this a little bigger. So the oil started coming out of the walls of the room in the back of the bookstore where people would come and worship and pray and things like that. So it started coming out of the walls there. When it started doing that, at that time, it had that fragrance of like frankincense, myrrh, like that thing that you always associate with something that's pure and religious. That smell, like a perfume smell, was coming out of the walls. And so then word started to travel, and then there was a preacher and his brother. There are two preachers that are brothers. The one brother is the one who had the Bible that I'm about to tell you what happened. He came into the back of the bookstore and they were asking, "What do you need?"
Oh, I was just saying you could tell them I'm here.
Oh, yeah, David's over
Since
here.
You haven't introduced me yet.
Y'all know David's my son.
Hello.
David's there.
Hello.
Yo. See, Jesus is right above his head in a cross. Well, I don't just have over there's a picture of Mary at an altar. Like, yes, I am a Christian. And I'm really proud of that, especially today. Haven't always, I'll get to that part later. Okay. So the preacher was in the bookstore at the back, and the Lord spoke to him. And he told him to go. He kept telling him the number 39. And he's like, "Lord, what do you mean 39? And he went to Psalms 39. Okay. It eventually became what was told to him was to go to Psalms 39. So what he thought is, well, God's got a message for me, and he wants he wants me to go look at that. And so that's probably what this is about. So he goes to his Bible, and there's oil on Psalms 39. It looked like, okay, I'm supposed to read Psalms 39, but I don't know what this is on my Bible. But he thought his granddaughter had maybe spilled something on the Bible and didn't want to say anything. So he came to find out that no, she didn't. Because the next day, when he went to his Bible, it had gone all the way to, I want to say, Proverbs. Which is quite a lot of pages. If you go and you look in your Bible, Psalms 39 to Proverbs ish area, that's pretty. Well, I'll show you what that is. You're looking at like this many pages. Hold on, that's like blowing out over here. Okay, that's a lot of pages. We're completely coated in oil. Completely coated. Then he knew something else was going on. So he was like, okay, this can't be happening. What is this? So he put his Bible, because there's so much oil, and it began to go all the way back into Revelations. When it got that far, the Bible was not stopping producing the oil. So it was traveling to the back of the Bible. And he put it in a baggie, okay, like just your whatever his Bible fit in, probably a 2-quart, whatever Ziploc baggie. And it filled all the way up. Okay, so a Bible this size in a baggie is completely now submerged in oil. It was producing oil enough to fill up this baggie. Okay, so after that, he asked the Lord, like, what do you want me to do? And so he said, you need to give it away. So they order vials, and they start filling from the baggie the vials. And he said, you cannot advertise it. You cannot talk. You can't talk about it. You can't. It's going to have to be a word of mouth thing. Okay. Now I'm going to pause here because I'm going to show you the video. I'm going to show you a video of the altar where the Bible is, and I'm going to let you listen from his words. 6 minutes of video. After about 6 or 7 minutes,
keep an eye on your connection. I'm dead for like.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You know what? Let me turn off my TV. Be sure I'm not pulling anything off of the internet. Yeah, you guys. Pearl, was it Pearl? Did Pearl let you know? David, did Pearl tell you? Okay. I'm not sure where I went dead, but it wouldn't surprise me in the least that something like that would happen. Because when you hear everything that happened, you're going to be like blown away. I was blown away, and I'm still blown away, and I still almost can't reckon what happened. But resuming. So let me get that video. Let me screen share and yet try to. Let me do the application window. Okay, you know what? I can go here. And I'm going to share that. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. So we're going to go with, let me show you the altar. Okay. Bad video. It's a about to start.
Good morning, everybody. We want to thank you for being here today. And make you aware of two things real quick. Number one is we have a children's ministry for ages 2 all the way up to grade 6. If your child would like to be part of the children's ministry, 2 to 5-year-olds are going to be in this hallway to our right. First graders to 6th graders are going to be in the building in the back. You can follow the hallway around to the building in the back. We'll check your child in. And we've got a great children's ministry team ready to minister to them. And so if you would like to take your child and check them in at this time, we would invite you to do that. Second thing is, we are running out of chairs, which is a great problem to have. But here's what I would ask. If you have saved a seat, can you please sit in that seat? Because right now there's every seat you have saved. If you aren't saying anything,
What?
They're not seeing the video, only the file folder.
They're only seeing the file folder. Let's try this a different way then. I'm trying, guys. This is, oh, I know what I did. Okay. Here we go. Let's try this again. Let me go back down here. Okay. Let me rewind that so you can see that again.
what we do is a little.
Okay, I'm going to show you the altar after. The altar is on my channel. If y'all want to go watch that, it's like a 1-minute video, and it shows the Bible in the container. Because after the Ziploc baggies were filled and they put the oil in the vials, then they had to put it in just a Tupperware box, not anything that they were worshiping or, made a shrine to or anything. I'm talking, go to Home Depot and get yourself one of those tubs, put the Bible in it, and this thing has been producing oil for 2 years. So now I'm thinking you guys can see this, but I need to know if Pearl can maybe tell me if this is showing. Okay, here we go.
Come in a little bit of
This I'm going to shut up because this is the 6 minutes of what he's explaining about the oil, and then we'll move on. And really, truly, if you are a Christian and you have faith in Jesus and in God, please don't stop watching this video.
because we are God.
Okay. Okay. Let me know if you guys can see this. Pearl.
What we do is a little different. When the Lord called us to do this, He told
I'm
us
showing
to.
it now. It's on delay. Debbie's in my ear. So you should be seeing this screen. Hence why maybe chat was a good idea. All right.
Not
If y'all
advertised.
can't see it, I'll figure
Don't
that out.
market this. Don't knock on doors with
Debbie,
it.
let me know.
Don't try to convince people.
So y'all cannot see this. Well, you probably can hear it. So just listen, y'all. Listen to the words.
It's still a black
I'll
screen.
upload the video. I don't know why there's a black screen, but I'm gonna play the audio, and I need you to listen to the audio. Listen to the word.
What it is. He said, just keep it away so I can fill it back up. And he told us, he said, I'll send you. And he said, when you go, you tell the story, you share the word, you pray for people, you give the oil away. And he said, the miracles will happen outside the building. See, that's already contrary to the way we're used to it. We're used to thinking you can only bring them in here and have certain people pray for them and God do what he wants to do, but you had to find a way to get them in here. But it's, he never said if you.
Can y'all audio hear this? Where she's at, it's like a buzzing. This screen sharing thing is not going the way that so you know what? Let me go in here and still y'all can only see black screen, huh? Yeah, I'll that's what I'll do. Okay.
She said kind of, it's mumbled through parts.
Okay, so you can't really hear it. Okay. I'm going to have to go in here and I need to stop screen sharing. So probably yes, I'm aware. Cancel. Okay, so now I should not be screen sharing anymore because that, for whatever reason, doesn't want to play nice. So that I'm going to upload that video to my YouTube though. Okay, so I'm going to get back. I'm just going to tell the story, and I'm trying to add all the technology in, and it's clearly not working. So maybe I'm just supposed to tell you this, but the video will be uploaded on my channel, and then the entire thing will be uploaded on my channel, like from beginning to end. Okay, so let's just rewind. Okay, the Lord told them, you cannot advertise, you cannot charge for it, you cannot like you can't go on the news, you can't do any of that. Okay, you have to, it has to be organic. And that's my words, organic. They need to be shared organically, not through like, here, let's call CNN and go, this is happening. No, it had to happen. It got the Bible producing oil. Now, I was calling BS on it at first. I'm like, no, look, we don't live in those times where things like that happen. And you, again, have to be skeptical, and who wouldn't be skeptical of that? But the more research I did, I could not find anything to debunk it. Now, of course, there are people who have made videos that are like, yeah, this isn't real, but they have no proof. It's just like their opinion. Okay, like one of the videos that this one guy did on YouTube.
The signal keeps going on and on.
Can you call Amber and see if she's on her game?
Sure.
Okay. Because that shouldn't be a signal. Shouldn't. Well, you know what? This will be uploaded as well. And if you are getting that, refresh. Okay, refresh your screen and then.
Are you playing your game?
Excuse me?
Yeah, she's playing.
Okay, she needs to get off the game. She has to get off the game. It's pulling too much on my internet.
Because it's messing up the live stream.
If she's not playing via internet, that's fine. But if she is, she needs to get off of it.
Well,
it's pulling too much.
She said.
Like now. All right. Really, that shouldn't be doing that either because my internet's fast. But anyway, we'll go ahead. You know what? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change one thing. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to open the chat. I have no eyes and ears, and this is really weird for me to do like this because if my audio goes out or my signal goes out, I don't know it. So I'm going to open the chat room for you guys to chat. So just, you know what? I promise it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. Okay. All right. My best friend Debbie has not heard this story yet, so she's listening to it. Now, if you will refresh your screen. Let me go in here.
Going down the wrong way.
Okay. There we go. Now let me mute myself, and we're going to just go ahead and we're going to have some live chat. All right. Hello, Pearl. Okay. Resuming. Now I can look over to chat, and I'm just not going to be, hello, Steve Yoakum. I'm just not, you know what? I'm so used to doing live with live chat. It's like really weird. It's like doing it without chat. I feel like I'm all alone. So you know what? This is going to be much better anyway. So just know that I've got to get through telling you what happened. Okay. Hey, Lucky. So I'm sure Lucky's going to be like, what have you done? Where did you go and what's up? Okay. So let me get on with it. Everyone's like, Kat, just shut up and get on with the story. Okay. So I skeptically start to try to find anything to debunk it. I can't find anything. I can find people with opinions, but not people who have been there, and not people who have proof that this is a hoax, that these people are being dishonest. There is nothing. Go search the internet and go look for yourself. You're not going to find it. Before I ever even made a judgment call, I was like, what I need to know, like, I need to know more, because clearly, if there's a Bible producing gallons of oil, hey Lisa, then I want to know about it. And if I can't find 2 years that it's been producing oil, gallons, like over 200 plus gallons at this, I don't, they've given away 100,000 vials so far. Okay. Now, and yes, I'm going to get to the whole, what does it do? Okay. Hey, Jen TT, have 2 bottles. Okay. Now, I have used this, I swear to you, I can't even tell you how many times. And the bottle, hey, this is, I think I probably grabbed that one. I've used this 20 times, 25 times. And it's look, okay, I'm just, dude, this is gonna blow you away. You're gonna be like, Kat, you're crazy, but I'm not. Or maybe I'm a little crazy, but hey, that's okay. But this happened, and there were many witnesses. Okay, the entire congregation, and it is on YouTube. The whole entire thing is on YouTube to see. Okay, not the whole thing, because they edited out some parts, and I mean, they had to squish the video down. But we were at a church, Cornerstone Church in Cleveland, Texas. If you guys go and you type in Cleveland, Texas, you can watch that entire video. But I'm going to tell you what happened from mine. This is what's the word I'm looking for? Testimony. I am about to give you my testimony. This testimony will be on YouTube, and people will find it, and it will be so utterly important. I can't even begin to tell you how important this is. It's really important to me, but it's even more important that I share it with you. That's what a testimony is. So this thing is still producing oil. I can't find anything to debunk it. So then I go to the website. I think Pearl could probably put a link in there. It's his, hold on, let me go look. His name is flowingoil.org. Okay. And lo and behold, here I am trying to, figure anything out that I can about it. And lo and behold, now this is 3 months ago. Okay. I've been planning this trip, and I've kept my mouth shut. My friends knew about it, but thank you, D90. Hit the thumbs up if you like this. I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of haters, just thumbs down. But you know what? I also want to tell you, I no longer hate my haters. I love you, but I hate your sin. So it's not my place to judge why you do what you do. All I can do is be responsible from what I do from Sunday forward. Okay. But on a funny note, I will say, for one particular hater who I know is watching, because they watch everything I do, I have a mascot. She's a beautiful pink pig. And she oinks. Your stuff doesn't bother me. No, David's not getting that, or y'all will be. No, sir. Okay, so moving along.
I want pigs.
3 months ago, I planned to drive nearly 4 hours to Cornerstone Church in Cleveland, Texas, where the preacher whose Bible was producing oil was going to be live. And they were going to be giving away vials of this healing oil. But please understand, it isn't about the oil, and God doesn't want you to focus on the oil. He wants you to focus on the miracle of what this can do. But it can only do it through your faith that it is that God can do this and that this comes from God. And again, I'm going to upload the video my YouTube that for some reason it wasn't allowing me to share, or it was doing it really crappy. Okay, I've caught myself 50,000 times trying to throw out the GD word, and now I'm like, Holy Mother of Jesus, and I'm doing really well. Okay, cussing is another thing that you're not going to find me doing. Personal choice, but after what I witnessed, I'm a little afraid. I'm not afraid for me. I am afraid for everybody else that doesn't accept. Here's where I'm going to lose a bunch of my people. Okay. If you don't believe in Jesus as your Lord and Savior, the thing that I saw and what I'm sharing with you, I would be afraid. Okay. I would be afraid because I believe, are in the modern day end of times. Now, y'all know that that I was raised Catholic, and then I switched to become Baptist when I was 27. I was baptized April 14th when I was 27 in the Baptist church. Okay. But that isn't something that I talk about because, again, politics and religion, whatever, you not, this isn't a preaching channel. So please know that's not what my channel is, and it's not what it's going to become. But this video is going to be a little bit of that because of what happened to me. Yes, I can't read that comment. Lucky's cracking jokes. Okay, so, and people can even say in chat, David was there. David's best friend Mark was there. Mark drove. Okay, and this is what I'm going to call a miracle. Okay, I witnessed it. Go look on my channel. Go look at the altar. Hey, that Bible sat there. That altar never moved. They had bowls. Yeah, he did actually drink it, but I'll get to that. So, they had bowls like about that big. That, you have the simple plastic thing because God doesn't want you to like put it on a shrine and start to worship it. You don't do that. You don't do that. You're supposed to use this to heal people. Okay? Like heal people. And I mean people with cancer. I mean people in the hospitals. I mean people who have a child that is sick, what have you. That's what you're supposed to do with this. And I will explain. There have been many testimonies of miracles that have happened with people in the oil. Okay, like endless amounts of testimonies. So, of course, my daughter came in. Of course, it distracted me. So anyway, during this service, okay, you've got this container, and they keep filling the pitcher and putting it in the bowls so that everybody that wanted to dip their hands in it could do that. But yet the level was growing. Okay, like moving. It wasn't going down. Okay, you've got nearly 1,000 people by the end of the day, or when it finally gets to sermon time. It's standing room only. It's Father's Day. It's all of that. So there are people everywhere, but yet, and I'm witnessing this live. Okay, it'd be like if I'm showing you this and I dumped it halfway out, and then a little bit later it filled to the top. Okay, I haven't tried that yet because I don't really want to waste it. I want to go beautiful and holy and of light and love and God and Jesus and whatever creator that you, even if you don't accept that, it's all one God, one creator, one what have you. So just know that no matter what, and it doesn't matter what religion you are, because we have a Pentecostal preacher on a Baptist stage. Okay, and, they don't actually see eye to eye generally, but they met at the Browns at some kind of a revival. I want to say Brownsville, but I'm not sure on that. So, is my thing going out again? Ugh! I can't tell when it's doing it. So, is she off that game? Call her. You don't have your internet going or your gaming station or anything?
No.
No, she's not on the game. She just walked by me. One moment.
Yeah,
Much.
your signal's like
Okay, a few seconds. Okay, but the majority of it you guys can hear? Like, are we talking it's just going out for a second? Shut that door, baby.
What is that?
Okay, I'll wait for someone to type. Okay, so he starts to,
No.
actually, I want to back that up.
I want to see the pencil.
Excuse me. Give me just a second. Not one, neither one of you.
Hungry.
I'm on live.
Feed me.
Okay. I made a pork roast last night. She just doesn't want to eat it up. Okay.
Pencil.
Yeah, I know. And don't make me hit you with it either.
Oh, what? I'll hit you with it.
You wouldn't live to tell about it. Look, it is. It's a giant pencil. Okay. So you're not missing anything, if that makes sense. Yes, that makes sense. Okay. So when we left the house, okay, first of all, a million things happened to try to keep me, both of you, or you go out there and talk to her.
Fine, but if you bring me one.
So,
Not the strawberry one.
Stop distracting me, please.
Talking about ice cream.
Then go eat ice cream with your sister.
She's bringing me ice cream. Next day.
Okay. So, God, this is why I don't do distractions. Y'all know this. Okay. On the way there, okay, my ex-husband was going to drive. It was Father's Day. So originally he was going to drive because you guys know that I have very, very serious back and neck problems. I have 4 split discs. I have, hey, Kimberly, I have really, really bad back problems that prevent me from driving, period. Okay, I've never, shut the door, Amber. I have never even attempted to drive that long because your foot up on the pedal, and this is important. So let me, hey, Butta. I just can't do it. I already knew that I was going to suffer, meaning I was going to go and be in a car for like 8-9 hours, and I was going to be hurting. Now, generally, and then I was sitting in a church for like 3.5 hours, 4 hours, something. I don't know. It was a long time. Okay. 3.5 hours, easy. That's why the other, hey, Modern Extremist and Strawberry Wine, it's something that generally, if I even go and sit somewhere, and some of my friends that met me in person know this, if I sit for a long period of time, I'm out for like a week. Okay. So I knew I was going to kind of suffer with this. But the day, like Friday, we're supposed to go on Sunday. My ex-husband, this big server blew down in Fort Worth. And he's the only person who's qualified to fix that. So he was on call to handle this emergency. So he's like, I can't drive you. And I'm like, man, I can't make that drive with the gas pedal up, down, up, down, up, down. You know, I'll be dead. You know, I guess I'm just not going to go. Like, everything was trying to get me to not go. Well, David's good friend, Mark, really wanted to go. And his plans were he was going to meet us there. So what ended up happening, to fast forward it, I asked David, hey, if Mark drives down there and we give him gas and stuff, then why don't we just ride together and we'll go and experience this together? And so his friend was like, of course. You know, his friend's a really devout Christian. I mean, like, only listens to like Christian music. Like, doesn't watch scary movies, and nothing. Like, his faith is like, ooh. Like, I was impressed. Okay. I was impressed. And that's kind of a hard thing to do when it comes to that. So we get in the car, and I swear to you, it was like, okay, Noah's going to go ahead and bring another ark because this weather was brutal. Awful. It was torrential downpour. Like, you couldn't see this far in front of your face. Thanks for popping in, Butta. You couldn't see. It was that bad. And I was joking. I'm like, golly, this is going to be a thing to even get there. And I'm like, you know, yeah, there must be a boat somewhere because this is like Noah's Ark. So we drive in torrential downpour, which y'all know is kind of a little exhausting. I'm dying because someone else is driving, and I'm freaking out, going, "We're gonna die. We're gonna die on the way here." So, you know, it's true. And David was too. He was like, "Dude, you're scaring me." So, oh my gosh. So then, we get to a point where we're about 100 miles out, okay, and we've got to get gas, okay. And this guy's got a really nice Nissan, I don't know, some kind of SUV, super nice, low miles, great. He gets out of the convenience store, and this is important to the story, okay. I'm not just like telling you every little thing I did, okay. You'll understand why this is important before I go into the service. So we come out of there, and air conditioner isn't working. Now it's like 85, 90 degrees in Texas, and we have no air. And anybody who knows me knows that my house is like sub-zero temperature. It's like 62 degrees in my room. I'm super hot natured. So for me to have that going on, that was my idea of personal health. And I've told some of my friends, look, if I die, I'm going to come back and I'm going to mess with your air conditioner. And that's how you're going to know it's me. Because I'm so hot-natured. I have like 20 fans going and so forth. So I'm like, okay, God, this is not funny. Like, we messed with it. We couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. We're driving. We've got to get there. So whatever. Can't do anything about it. So I had taken a shower, did my hair the day before, everything. I put, hey, Debbie. I put makeup on. I looked pretty. Not by the time I got there, I'd sweated all my makeup off. I looked like hell. So, but I had my hat that had the cross on it, my sparkly one. Okay. And you couldn't have lost me in there. And there is video of that. You can see my hat sparkling at the back of the church and what have you. Of course, it had to be sparkly. So I had to put a hat on, and because it was bad, and I was like, great, now I got to put a hat on. And I'm telling you, like, partway through, I'm like, you're really not supposed to wear a hat in church. Like, and I'm sitting here, and I swear I might have been Me and Mark might have been the only people with like caps on. Okay. But I figure since mine had a cross and all, maybe that was a good save. Okay. So I'm like, you know what? When we go in there, I said, you watch. We're going to go in there. I said, when we get that oil, we're going to have to come back out. We're going to have to anoint the car. And we're going to pray that the air conditioner works. If not, this is going to be 4 hours like of my personal hell. Would have been to drive without air conditioning the whole way back to Dallas. Okay, so we were making that joke. So we get there, and here's the thing. When you walked in to you walk in and then you have to go through double doors to go into the sanctuary. So there is the preacher's son or grandson, I'm not sure which, and he's got boxes with the bottles of oil. And they don't like hand it to you like this. You have to accept it. It's before, and this was the interesting thing, and I thought was really interesting, and I get why they did it that way now. When you walked in, and everybody who was there were people in wheelchairs. There were people, who couldn't walk. There were people that they were there to be healed, and to be blessed, and to be anointed, and to receive this miracle. Okay, so when you walked in, it was there, and I immediately was like, oil. Okay, then I had to go back out to the car to get my video camera because I was like, I'm going to videotape this, right? When I came back in, he offered me another vial, and I'm like, well, I already have one. And he's like, well, take it and use it on somebody. Have a blessed day, or whatever it was that was said. So then I had 2 of them. But you were being offered to take it before you heard the word, before you even knew the story. Because even the stories that you see on the internet isn't the full story. Like where it started in the broom closet and went into the area where they prayed and stuff, where the oil was coming from the walls. You didn't know a whole lot about the whole story until you go in and you listen. So yes, we got there like 45, 50 minutes early, like where we could get chairs. And so we sat down, we put our stuff there, and we went up to the altar and we did the bowls. They're like, put your hands in. I'm like, okay. Now I'm not even going to tell y'all. Of course, and some may be like, okay, of course this is what she did. But before I went there, I was praying and hoping, okay, if you want this to be, Lord, then it would be really great to not be in pain every single hour of every single day for the last 12 years. I have multiple sclerosis. It would be really fantastic. There are things that I wanted that I knew before I went there I was going to get. I had complete and total faith. Faith being that thing that you cannot touch, see, feel. You can feel it, but it's not tangible. It's not tangible. So faith is something that blind faith. You've probably heard that story before. So before I walked in there, I knew that I wanted to accept a vial of oil. I knew that I wanted to do good with it. I knew that I wanted healing, but that only if God intended for that to happen was that going to happen. Otherwise, that's the only way. I have what I have, and I have all my x-rays, and I have all my everything. And okay. So clearly I had some things going in that I wanted personally that I was thanking him in advance that if that was his will, then thank you, Lord. Okay. But not expecting that maybe that's not the path that I'm supposed to, be, that I need to keep getting sicker and sicker, and I need to be in pain for a reason. So I just left it up to him. So when they started the sermon, which they explain about the story of how this started happening, they also said that once it got to the point where they were just doing what they were doing, David, can you let Buki and Mama out, please? Thank you.
Why do you have me do your bed?
Because I'm live and you're my son. I had you for slave labor.
Illegal slavery.
Right? Be glad you weren't born in the 1800s. You'd be out there farming and crops and all that. So he begins to tell some of the story, which again, it will be up on, well, I will be 53 tomorrow. So you know what? This is my gift to you for my birthday. And this is the only thing that I needed. Flat out. So he goes in and he starts to explain what the rules that they were told not to do. You can't sell it. You can't profit from it. You can't advertise it. You can't make money off it. And by the way, no, there was no paid parking. They also did not pass around a collection plate, which happens every Sunday if I go to church, which, by the way, I had not been in a church for a very long time for fear that I walk in, I would catch fire. Okay.
Oh.
So yeah, I think definitely there's like a few different, there's a lot of different age groups that come in here. Okay. But nonetheless, so he begins to, hey, Diary of the Mind, he begins to talk about that he could not do any of those things. And he's like, well, how is this gonna, like, I want to share this, I want to all this. Well, you can't do it like that. It's gonna have to be word to word to word. Okay. So hold on, let's see here. Debbie, you have a wrench now. Yes, Debbie's been my best friend for like 15 years now. And she hasn't even heard this. Okay. So they can't do any of that. So it took 2 years for it to even be spread as far as it's gotten now, which is a lot of people, but it's still a lot of people that don't know, because here's the thing. It isn't there. Okay, like on the one video, what I was telling you, there's some videos on YouTube, but there's this one guy that did a video, and God told him to go watch the video. And he's like, I don't watch myself on video. I don't even know what I look like preaching, and I'm not going to. He said, you need to look at the comment section. So the comment section, there were over 17,000 comments at that time. And the video was put out. There was a guy and like looked like he just got back from the beach, pair of shorts, flip flops, and he interviewed them. And 2 weeks later, it had 2 million views. Okay, 17,000 comments. 90% of them were really negative, horrible comments. 95% of them were Christians. So, you know, you definitely got a division even within Christianity as to who's believing what and what this is. So, moral of the story, really don't, well, I didn't believe it until I saw it and experienced it. So he goes on, and again, I'm going to upload what I videotaped, and then I'm going to upload the entire video of the entire thing, but they did cut it. They cut it down because they had to make it it's like an hour and 43 minutes. Okay. But this is about testimony. This is about my testimony of what happened. So when he gets through the sermon and he explains all of these things that happened along this journey of what God told him to do, he would tell him the night before he went to speak somewhere this is what's going to happen. This is what I need you to put out there. And then it would happen. And there, again, I'm gonna upload that because there are many examples that were given. A few of the examples that I want to tell you of the testimonies of other people. There was a little girl who had autism, and in the spring she had been in school and autistic, very severely autistic, and not a real high functioning. So she was in special classes, and her mother came and she got the oil and was anointed and had faith. That's really key. When she went to the fall in school, they called the mother and said, your daughter doesn't have autism. And she said, yes, my daughter has autism. I have all her medical records. I have everything. And they said she does not have autism. And the girl, she was healed. She was completely healed. Not only did she not have it, but there was no sign that she ever had it. Okay. Another mother came, and her son had stage 4 lymphoma. Okay. No, leukemia. I'm sorry. And he was dying. He did not have long to live. The only kind of food that he could even eat at that point were muffins. So she put the oil in the muffin mix. 2 days later, not only was he completely healed, there was no sign that he ever, like, cancer can damage you and chemo can damage you, but there was nothing. He was 100% completely healed. Okay. There was another lady that he talked about that was an alcoholic, and she'd been in rehab many times, and she just could not kick it. Well, she went home from one of these, and she poured the entire bottle into the vodka, and she drank it. And then guess what? She was cured. Not only did she no longer have liver damage and everything that came with her addiction, but it was as if she had never drank. So that was another entire complete healing. And there are many other testimonies. If you go to hisnameisflowingoil.org, you can read some of those. Okay, but I can't attest to those because I didn't see them, and I don't know, and I didn't see their medical records and what have you. So I can only testify to what happened with me and to the people around me. So they shared a lot of that. And I mean, this guy's infectious. I've never been to like Pentecostal minister. That man's running up and down the stage. He has got more passion than anybody I've ever seen in my entire life. This man has devoted everything to what has happened into God, and that 1,000,000%. The things that the Lord's asked him to do have been like, I'm sure a lot of people that left there was like, this guy's just crazy. Okay. He doesn't care. He doesn't care if he appears crazy. I don't care if people judge me. I don't care if people make videos about this. I don't care. My soul, eternal soul, I know is where it's going. And whatever anyone else does or anyone else judges, that's on them. It's not on me. So that's why I say the people who hate me, that I had a great dislike for, you know what? I'm not going to dislike them. I am going to love them. Love your enemy, but hate the sin. Okay, whatever it is they may be doing. Because I've got one particular one that just can't, anything I do, she has to make a video on. Y'all know who it is. And it's like weird and obsessive, and everything that I do, then she does. And it's the weirdest thing ever. But, I mean, I guess if you want to be like me, then, whatever. You got a gaming computer with a glowing keyboard, and you just copy everything I do. But nonetheless, I'm just going to pray for you, except for, she worships Lucifer. So, I really hope and pray that that isn't how that completely ends up in the end for her, because that's not going to go well. Okay. So it came to a point, and this is when I realized what they were doing with the oil. When you walked in, before you ever heard the testimonies in the story, and there are many of them, of everything that happened and people who were healed and the different revivals and places that he went to where he would be given a prophetic dream or something, and then it happened the very next day at the service. If you didn't take the vial of oil before you heard the word, well, let's just say there are a lot of people who did not accept the oil, because let's be real, there are a lot of people and a lot of Christians who are like, okay, what if this isn't of God? I don't want to accept this oil, openly. Well, I already knew before I got there that I was in full acceptance of receiving the oil and the power of what the faith could do. Now, he explains it isn't about the oil. Do not focus on the oil, but the oil is how. LT, please, let's don't go. Can we just not do Satan today, please? Okay? Look, we always have agreed to disagree. Satan is not. After everything I saw, and I already had my faith before that, but dang, I hadn't been in church in so long. Is she cooking something? Or is the house burning? That would really suck. Okay. So, if you didn't take a vial of your own free will before you heard the word, then you didn't accept that. So then he asked the people, okay, if you took a vial, stand up. Okay, so we all stood up because we all got a vial of the oil. And a lot of people stood up, but there were a lot of people who didn't stand up, that did not accept it and did not take it before they heard the word. And then he said, keep standing. And so after he had ministered and told all the story, and again, I'm going to upload it on my channel. He began to go, and I'm telling you, I just can't even explain how full this church was. He went to the people who had the vial of oil, and he came and he anointed them. And he said, now, all of you who have this, your faith and this anointing will activate this. You are to take this outside of the church. None of these miracles happened in church. He said that the Lord was doing it different, that every time he did a miracle and man put his hands on it, it became sinful. It became a thing about money. It became prostituted, if you will. So I'm doing it different now. I'm inverting it so that when man puts his hands on it, it gets bigger. And as long as you do, as I say, and you keep giving it away, I will keep producing it. 2 years later, the oil is still producing. That day, that thing, big things being poured into bowls, and yet that oil never moved. It was there. It was locked on with my eyes. It didn't go down as many times as they did that. They were not coming and pouring more oil into it. It was unlike anything I've ever seen in my life. It was the most paranormal, supernatural, whatever thing that I've ever seen. Ever. And I couldn't believe that I was witnessing it. So he came and anointed those who had taken the oil. And he said that God told him the miracles will not happen in the church. They will happen outside of the church. Well, there was one time that the Lord told him, hey, I will back you up. You just keep putting out what I'm telling you to put out, and I'll back you up. So I want to give this example. A lady had a heart attack, and they gathered around and they prayed for her for like 30 minutes. And she wasn't revived. She wasn't coming to. And then the paramedics got there, and then they took her to the hospital. And then once she was there, they put a stent in her heart. But she was like out, like no dice, heart attack. So the next day he got very angry at God, and he said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm getting in the van and I'm going home, and I'm not preaching tomorrow, and I'm not doing this anymore. I'm angry at you, God, because you had a chance to back me up and you didn't. So, but the lady the next day was she was fine. She was walking around, and she was, she was going, running around the hospital room and out of the hospital room was great. So the healing happened outside of the church. That is the main, miracles are supernatural. It is a paranormal component. I completely believe it is. And hence, that's kind of how I came to want to investigate it, was because it was paranormal and supernatural. And that if this was what it was, I needed to see it with my own eyes, or I wasn't going to believe it. So, and I needed to experience what happened the way that it happened. So after he anointed the people who had the vials of oil, he said, now you go out. You now are the person, not the preacher. God's taking the preacher out of the equation, and it's up to y'all to go out there and do good with this and to heal. Find people in hospitals. Find people who are in need of healing. Anoint them, and through your faith and through the activation of this oil, you will be able to do that, and the miracles will continue to happen. Now I want to tell you about, okay, what's in this? What's in this oil? What can I tell you about this? First of all, it's been tested by I don't know how many labs at this point. But there was one person who claimed that is what that person did. I don't know if that would be a chemist or what have you, but it was somebody from a lab. Now, if you guys work with essential oils, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to explain this actually really, let's see, let me explain this, and anybody who works with them will know what I'm talking about. But I want to be very technical, because even when he said it, I was like, what is he saying? So I'm going to explain to you what happened when they tested this oil. Number one, when they tested it, they said that it behaved the most like mineral oil, but it wasn't mineral oil. And when they tested it, they could find no trace of anything made currently on this planet Earth. Nothing. There's nothing in here that they were able to determine was man-made. They don't know what's in it, and that's the way it's supposed to be, because this is of God, in my opinion. Okay, and in a lot of other people's opinion as well. But here's the thing. Every oil has a frequency. Okay, like I work with rose oil a lot. And no, I'm not just saying it. It's right here next to me. I have angel oil. I have not every essential oil man-made, but quite near it. Okay, because different essential oils have a different healing property. Now, what I'm telling you is that the name healing property, the other name for that is frequency. Everything has frequency that can be measured. So, rose oil is a very, very high frequency oil. I have a bottle of rose oil that was brought to me by a friend from Cairo, Egypt, and it was pure rose oil. I still have that, and I swear that's been probably 15 years ago that I was given this oil. Okay, it is the most pure, one of the most pure, highest frequency essential oils, and it resonates at 320 hertz. Okay. Yes.
Should I leave it like 1:45 for the interview?
Oh, what time's 2 o'clock?
2:15.
Oh yeah. I go ahead and head that way with traffic and everything.
All right.
I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so what happens when you are sick? Okay, when people get ill, their frequency changes. Okay, so the human body's average frequency is like 62 to 68 hertz. All right, so why am I telling you this? because essential oils, and again, anybody who works with them knows this, that they have different vibrational qualities. And you measure that by frequency. So now I've just explained to you what the human body's at. When the human body becomes ill, it resonates at a whole different frequency. So in order to cure the dis-ease or the disease, that's why a lot of people use essential oils, because they raise your vibration and then they can help your dis-ease or your disease. Okay, they can't cure it, but this,
Love you, Mama. See you
I
later.
love you too, baby. Drive careful. Okay. The thing is that this, not only, there's nothing in it that's made on earth. There's nothing, they cannot determine what is in this. It is not man-made because it has nothing in it that is of here. Okay. Y'all don't get into any arguments about religion in there. This is why I wasn't going to have a chat. Okay. But just stop. Okay. Y'all, please. I keep looking down and I keep seeing somebody's, if you can't respect what I'm doing, then don't be here in my chat. And I don't mean anyone in particular. I just mean, let's stop. Please respect the experience that I had and the testimony that I'm giving, and don't disrespect me. No arguments. Okay. Or I'm going to whip y'all with oil. Okay. So the vibrational frequency that was measured by the lab was infinite. This has an infinite frequency, meaning it cannot be, it's infinite. It has an infinite frequency. So if the highest oil that is considered to be the highest to raise hertz to heal is 68, or the rose oil, 320 megahertz. Okay. If you take that, now maybe you can understand, that this measured infinite frequency, nothing made from this earth. And on top of that, it measures infinite frequency. So what kind of healing do you suppose that would provide? Well, a lot. Okay, so I hope scientifically I at least explained that part good. Okay, because I didn't yeah, it is their teachers, and we'll have like an open conversation about that if y'all want to. So if it has an infinite frequency, then it has an infinite ability to heal. And like I said, there's a million testimonies. But what does this mean for me? What happened with me? Well, after we were anointed and after we went through all of that, then the little man, who's his brother, who's got to be in his 70s, okay, there were chairs, like, the chairs you sit in, not pews, but chairs. So then, okay, good. I'm not reading y'all's entire conversation. I kept looking over and seeing Satanist, Christian, whatever. If y'all are having civil discussion, then great. And I know the people who hold a wrench are going to have a civil discussion anyway, but I'm not going to scroll back up to read. I just want to be sure y'all are being nice and everything. Okay. So the man who has the brother who the Bible started to produce the oil, and there were a lot of people in that church, he then jumped up on the chairs, he took the Bible, the actual, we'll just use an example, the Bible here. Okay, he took that and he jumped up on the chairs, but it was a full-size Bible, and he was going and he was putting it on each person's forehead that wanted to accept it. Like, stand up if you wish to accept that. Okay, so he starts going. Now, he took it out of the thing with the oil, and so this is like a leather. And by the way, that's another thing. The Bible's pages are not torn. They're not disintegrated. The binding of the Bible, like if you drop that in oil, it would disintegrate over 2 years and it would be falling apart. Also, the wood in the paper would expand like this much, and it would swell, and it would be ruined. There's highlights in there. There's pen writing. Nothing is smudged. Nothing is speared. Nothing. Okay. So he takes that out of the oil, and he begins probably 100 people before he ever got to me, because we were like 3 rows from the back. And now this is where I'm going to do a visual for y'all. Okay. With my spray bottle and my Bible. Okay. This is what it was doing. 100 people later. Okay. The outside of the leather, once you do that on a few people, that's going to be gone. When he got to me, see if I can replicate this. Now watch. See how that's dripping? Please tell me you can see the drips. I don't want to get it on my Alienware computer. Here we go. There's another drip. Okay. That's what it was doing. So when he got to David and Mark and I, he went. This was kind of, well, I don't know really what this meant, but I was shown something. Okay. Like psychically with what I do. He goes to David, and David's eyes are closed. Okay. And he taps his forehead. And I was like, God, what does David have in him? Okay. He put it on there, and then he was holding it like this. Okay. So like that. And then when he put it on David, he held it there, and he started like doing this stuff, shaking. The minister did. And then he took one hand off the Bible book, and then he put the other one there, and he was like, and then he took it off, and then he put it back on. And then I was shown a vision of something, which I think I'll tell y'all at the end, okay? So this thing, again, putting it at the top, it's dripping like that. Really hope y'all can see those drips. Dripping like this. 100 and some odd people later, this thing is still dripping oil. I had an oil spot on my head about that big because he pressed the Bible. And so with David, I don't know what was going on there, but then I was shown the vision of what I was shown. Then Mark and I, we were the only 2 people in all of this church that have hats on. He takes our hats off. And of course, he had that preacher look, like you're not supposed to wear a hat in church. Not that he was judging, but it was, he kind of smiled. It was kind of cute. Put it on my head. And I became that girl, the one that you see in church, that even when I got there, I'm like, I don't care what I feel. I'm not moving. I'm not going to be the person without Jesus. And then you fall back. Okay. I wasn't going to do that. Whatever I thought, I wasn't going to do that. Period. Well, I also want to tell you that 3 rows before he got to me, 3 rows, he's got to do like about 35 people or so before he gets to me. I get overwhelmed with the emotion, and I start crying and crying and crying. And David's looking at me like, what? I was having an experience. Okay. Every sin that I had ever done, it's kind of like when I have a near-death experience and your whole life flashes before you, and that it's like that. Every single thing, and it was very overwhelming. So by the time he got to me, I've got tears rolling down my eyes, and he puts my head, and what happens? I became super, like, it was like energy but dizzy all at the same time. And luckily I had my hands on the front chair in front of me, so when I boom down on my butt, I was having to like hold myself there to shake. I'm gonna spray you with the oil. You better believe I am. I'll chase you around. Of course I'm gonna chase you with it. You better watch out. I'm gonna sneak it in your drink or whatever. I don't know. And you'll be like full-blown exorcism, and then we'll really have to call Ghostbusters, right? So I literally collapsed. If there had been an open thing, I would have fallen down on the floor. And I didn't much like reviewing all of my sins, by the way. I just want y'all to know that. I didn't like that feeling at all, because I saw all of them and I knew all of them and I knew, and I repented for them before he got to me. And I was like praying. I was praying, please forgive me. I'm repenting, because you can repent. Here's the thing about sin. No matter how much you sin, you can always repent. Okay. And I'm a really good repenter. Just like that preacher. He's like, I've probably been dunked, rebaptized and all of that. He was like, I've done that like 25 times. Because we generally think of it as every time that you do a lot of bad, then you repent, then you're cleansed. Well, some people get dunked on a regular basis. So then it was the end of the service, and that he was continuing to go to the people in the wheelchairs and the different people, and I don't know what their experience was, right? So we left. So then we came out, and I saw a friend of ours that I had told about this, that was about 2 hours away in a different direction. She was at the back, standing room only, saw her. She approached the gentleman with the Bible, and I videotaped her clip. There wasn't anyone, taping mine except for the big cameras. Like I said, the thing was taped, but they had to squish it down. But trust me, the word is there. In 6 minutes into it, when I was videotaping, I felt like I really shouldn't be videotaping. It just didn't feel right. It felt like I was videotaping to catch something off or whatever. And I felt really crappy about it, and I turned my camera off. But I will upload what I do have. So they did theirs. Now I brought with me, because we were going to go to lunch, and then we were going to maybe do some EVPs and different things like that. I'm telling you, everything in me is like, that is not okay. Don't do that. So I told her I cannot do anything regarding like EVP stuff like that. Here it doesn't feel right, and I'm exhausted at this point. Which, by the way, I was in an extreme amount of pain too. Okay, yeah, that too. Anointing oil. If y'all don't know about anointing oil, go look it up. If y'all are Christians, you know what it is. Okay. But the one thing that he said about anointing oil is that Lord said to him, we had this whole thing with the anointing oil, and then people built sermons around it for the last few thousand years or what have you. Okay. And it isn't about the oil. It is about the faith of what it can do. And if you were to get, I would think, and this is just me saying this, I would think that if you got this and you completely had no faith and you didn't believe that this was real in any way, I would think that it wouldn't work. But I don't know. I mean, it's not like I can go, here, you try it and then see what happens. Okay. But am I going to work with these as far as getting EVPs and asking the angelic realm on Spirit Box? Yes, I am. Of course I am. But here's what happened. We get out to the car, and I told Mark, pop the hood. Let me listen to see if your fan would blow, if something's broken, let me listen to it. So he popped the hood, and all of a sudden I heard something change, and it was like, it wasn't the same sound we were hearing on the way up when the air conditioner completely broke and I had to sweat off all my makeup and look like crap. And he poked, I'm like, anoint the dashboard. Let's just, he did it. Boom. Hand up to God. Witnesses. The girl and her husband witnessed it. David and Mark, who owned the car, who was freaking out that it was going to cost him $1,500 to $2,000 to fix his air conditioner, was quite happy that it worked. And it worked. And we joked about that on the way. I'm like, this is my idea of hell. If I had to go and be somewhere really, really hot, that would be hell to me. So, right. Right. Diary of the Mind. Well, Diary of the Mind, you live close. So if you wish to be anointed, please get with me outside. You got my phone number. Call me. I'll meet up with you. Okay. Hurry back, Jim. So we get in the car. Now I want to show y'all some pictures. Hold on. I'm gonna have to, I won't be able to see chat for a second. I'm not gonna try to screen share again. I can tell you that much. Okay. Go to my Facebook. No, I've got it in my camera. Okay, this was the coolest thing and the weirdest thing all at the same time. Okay, first of all, on the way home, it was a worse torrential downpour than the one that we experienced on the way up. Okay. I mean, I literally was scared to die. I'm like, this is how I'm going to die. I'm going to die in this downpour because this kid is driving with that much room between the car in front of him in semis. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're going to kill us. He's like, I have complete and total faith that nothing's going to happen to us. I'm like, oh, great. We're testing. And what if that doesn't work out? I'm like, y'all are young. You have your whole life ahead of you. Like, I'll be good if I die here today. But damn, David was like, oh, you're freaking me out. We were laughing about it, of course. But as we came into town, okay, let me be sure there are no other person. Okay, well, we'll go this way. Did get a picture of, let me turn this light that way. Okay, see here. We'll go over here. Oh. I don't think, good night. Okay, that's Sam Houston, but all right. I'm going the wrong way. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Okay, and you're gonna see this. It's really, really cool. And I'm gonna post this on my Twitter and on Facebook. I really need, okay. There you go. Now I want you to tell me what, okay, first of all, it looked like a giant, it looked like we were driving towards water and it looked like a giant like wave was crashing. But look at the side there. Do you see this thing that looks like a bird? Right here. We're driving into it. And I mean, it was the most amazing like thing. And there's another picture. And there's this winged thing above it. Let's see. I cannot get the camera to, but I will post these on Twitter. Okay, so we make it home alive, much to my haters' dismay, I'm sure. Oh, here's another thing. Check this out. Okay, this is why I gotta post these. All right, let's see. Please. It did it a second ago. Nope, it just is not. Why are you doing that? I'm going to post them on Twitter. Look for my thing on Twitter. Pearl, if you can put the Twitter link in. There's like a face here, okay, with eyes and everything in the clouds. And my camera just will not, it's just blowing it out. But I will post them on Twitter. Okay. So, where am I? All right. You know, I thought we didn't see any funnel cloud. The thing is I was clearly, as an investigator, I'm like clicking picture after picture after picture because I'm hoping to catch some manifestation. Yeah, it's too bright. It's too bright. Let me see if I can do the brightness down. Okay, but when you were looking at it, it wasn't there. Like you didn't see the like a funnel cloud coming out of it. Okay. It was completely, you could, okay, like you take the picture, you're looking at the skyline, you don't see that. And then you snap the picture and then it's there. Okay, which was really weird. Yes, a huge bird or angel on the right side. Yes, that is what was there. Okay, now there are lots of other pictures that I took, like, I was like doing a burst thing. And there were no, in front of my face so it can focus maybe. Okay, I will put these on Twitter. I need y'all to see this. Okay, maybe I don't know if it will or not, but I'll try what you just said. Let's see. I have here. Except for I need this light to be completely not there. It's just not going to do it. I don't know why. It, of course, just a huge storm push. Oh my God, it was incredible. And I like storms. I just don't like driving in them. And I really don't like driving with someone else in that. Because I'm telling you, this kid was literally half a car length from his semi. And there's water. It's like he's driving blind. I couldn't see anything. And I'm like, we're going to die. This is how we're dying. But at least I feel like I'm saved. So that I was like, okay. But, you're kind of being risky. And he had total faith that nothing was going to happen. I thought I was going to die. So anyway, I didn't die. Sorry, haters. I'm still here. And so is my pig. Love y'all. I'm going to have to work on that one. Okay. So what happened to me? Okay. First of all, I explained to you everything about my physical health. Y'all also know that. If you're a regular to my show, then you know what's wrong with me. On the way down there, and even on the way home, I was in that pig. I know, right? Y'all have given me the most greatest joy with the calling me Miss Piggy. Because now I have pig slippers. I have a pig, thing. And you really, pig t-shirt. I mean, anyway, y'all just need to grow up and move on with your own life. And, when you have something in your About Me that says you worship Satan and Lucifer and all that crap, good luck with that. No judgment, though. It's your path, not mine. Right? I love the pig. I mean, pig. I'm going to start making merch with it, I swear. That's Miss Piggy to you. So, there. If the worst thing I have going on is I'm fat, then I'm good. I'm really good. So, I'm in pain the whole way home. And I mean excruciating pain. Okay? My knee is swollen, like twice the size of New York. My neck is burning. My lower back, my mid back, they're burning. I'm like, I'm going to pay for this for weeks. So I get home. I also have frozen shoulder, and it got me up at 3 o'clock in the morning the night before we went. Really bad. If you don't know what it is, look it up. Scale of 1 to 10, an 8 would be sufficient to explain the pain. So I get home, and with 1,000,000% faith, beyond anything I've been had this kind of faith in a really, really, really long time. I anointed my forehead, the back of my neck, my back, my low back, and my shoulder. And I went to bed. Tinkerbell, well, thank you. A fairy type. Thanks. Me and my pig, we're getting really close. And I go to bed. Of course, I'm said a prayer, and I'm like, thank you for whatever it is that you can do or will do. And that's kind of the thing. You generally thank before you get the blessing, not just when you get a blessing. You don't wait to thank. You thank before, because of the power of what you believe that can do. So the next morning, I woke up. Now, I expected maybe my knee or my shoulder maybe wouldn't hurt, or maybe I wouldn't. I don't know what I expected, but I knew I was going to be down for 2 weeks. Hey, Northern Light Crafts. I don't know whose video you're new and discovered after yesterday. If you know what, I'm going to send. Well, I don't know. If anybody wants to come on panel, let me know, and I'll get you a link. I don't know. I don't know if anybody wants to come or not, or what have you. But thank you for my 3-hour video. I had a 3-hour video. I do kind of have long videos, actually. Thank you for coming and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate that, and it means a lot to me. Now, I got up, and of course I had to get up, go to the bathroom. Not only was I not like crawling on my knees, which is generally what would happen if I sit that long period of time, what have you. I had no pain anywhere in my spine or my neck. I just can't explain to y'all the level of pain that I am generally in. Pearl's seen it, Map's seen it, my friends in person know and have seen it. Okay, I do have, okay, now I'm gonna show you a picture that's gonna kind of like rock your, okay. Everyone knows that my ex is somewhat cynical and definitely would not consider, I would not call him if he would tell you this himself. Not a believer. Okay. When I woke up, I called him. I'm like, I don't have any pain. I should be dying right at the moment, and I don't have any pain. Hey, Albert, I'm not in pain. I'm walking here. I ran down one end of the house to the other end of the house. No, nothing. Zero, zip. I have been on pain management for 11 years. We're on day 3, which is another reason that I did this video. My knee, I'd forgotten to anoint the next morning. I went out on the couch and my internet was out because, okay, when I got home, I wanted to get on my computer because I wanted to look things up. Well, my speaker blew out, my Bluetooth speaker, like my big giant light up speaker. And I was like, oh, I can't hear anything I can hear on my alien computer, but not as well as what I'd like, because some people don't have good mics and I couldn't hear anything. And I was like, okay, I guess he doesn't want me like going and I was going to go look up some stuff that was said. And so, boom. But my internet worked, but my volume didn't, so I'm like, I'm going to bed. Next morning, I wake up before I went in and was like, I don't have any, where's my pain? And I'm telling you, I'm like, okay, it's going to come back. I know it's coming back. I'm just waiting. But I have faith that maybe it won't, but I will. Yeah. Hey, H. Baker, long time no see. So I did the next day. I wanted to go look. My internet was out. Okay. No internet. So I took my Bible and I went and I sat out there and I did some more praying, and I really was trying to wrap my head around everything that had happened. And how is this thing still dripping oil 100 people back? How you can't reckon something like this when you see it. It boggles your mind. You cannot wrap your head around it. I anointed my knee. 1 hour later, my knee was not the size of New York. It was perfectly normal. I always have fluid on my knee, so it always looks weird, my left knee, from all the sports I did. And my knee was perfectly normal. I even took pictures of it because I'm like, oh my God. Well, I can't like go running around without my knee brace. No swelling, have no pain, have no need for my knee brace for the last 3 days. So I don't know about my MS because clearly I'm going to have to go see my neurologist. And I'm going to call and say, can you do I need a scan. And I'm due to have one anyway, and I'm due to visit my MS doctor in downtown Dallas. And I am hoping and I am praying on that one. But I will have to tell you about that later. I profoundly changed human being. And I believe for a long time, like just as a Christian and studying Revelations very deeply for a very long time, that we've been in the end times for quite some time. And this proves it to me even more. Oh, wait, I know what I needed to show y'all. Okay, the X. I started, hey, Mama Beth, I started to tell him about my experience. What did I, you know what? My mods know, I don't know, something got deleted, but I don't. Okay, let me check my phone. I probably have an answer on that. Oh, gotcha. Cool. It probably is. You're probably right. Okay. So my ex, right? He said something like really crappy. Okay, like you couldn't have a bigger skeptic and non-believer. All right. And he was mocking God in the comments he was making to me. So I promptly hung up on him and I wouldn't answer the phone the rest of the day. About 4:00 in the afternoon, and again, hey, thanks, Strawberry. Thanks for, oh, you're going to be listening and, or you've got to go somewhere, or if you're leaving, thank you for coming. And I love you to pieces. And I hope I'll see you again really soon, Strawberry. So I get a picture really late in the day, and I'm thinking that the camera is definitely going to show this just because I think it's supposed to. He feels that he cut himself on, because he does all kinds of things with security systems and fire systems and stuff, and he scratched his arm. Now I'm telling you, he was not very, I'm not going to say exactly what he said, but I'm going to show you. He sent me this, and he said, sign, question mark. Hold on, I need to be able to view myself so I know if you can see this. That's his arm. I knew it was going to show that. Okay, what do y'all see? I know what I see. Now, after this picture was sent, this middle line that made the cross disappeared. There's no scratch, but there was a scratch and it was bleeding. Okay. And he said that bled a whole lot for a scratch. That blew me away. And I'm like, it's a cross for sure. That, and I'll post that on Twitter too. And then he was like a little, like it even, come on, see, it immediately is going to show that. That is a cross. So he was being a little mocking and a little rude and what have you. And like I said, he said that the scratch that made the cross, it was no longer there. And he said that the other part was just a little scratch. And you can tell that was not just little. It was like deep. It looked like someone carved it in there. So that was kind of interesting to me as well. And then he sat there and wanted to hear the entire story by the end of the day after that happened. Now, where he stands on that now, I don't know because I haven't talked to him. But that was really weird. That was weird. I was like, I wouldn't be so, maybe I can't judge you, but I wouldn't be so mocky if I were you. But that's just me. So my son, okay, David, you guys know David. When I came out of the bedroom in the morning, this much like Jack Daniels in a bottle. I'm like, did you really make a drink? And I'm like, he comes out of his room and I'm like, did you really come back from church and then da-da-da-da? And he's like, well, yeah. And I said, well, do you still have, where's your oil at? And he goes, well, I poured half of it into the drink. Whatever it is that he is hoping for and that he wishes to, whatever, or that's private to him. But he was like, I'm going back to bed. Thanks. Bye. So I'll have to get back with you. Now, if y'all want to know what I saw when the preacher had the Bible on his head and then took it off and put his hand on it and then put his hand on him, and it was a really long thing, I immediately was shown a vision of him being a preacher. Now, if y'all don't know David, you would know how far away from preach that you would ever get. He is metal, death metal, music. Just, you would not meet David or know David and think David, oh, I'm going to be a preacher. But I was shown that psychically, not, because y'all know, I mean, that's what I do. It was a very specific vision. And yeah, Debbie does know him. So I believe that that will, and I'm like, David, I know what you're going to do. And when I told him, he just busted out laughing. Like, that is the, telling y'all, one day, I don't know what's going to happen to him. I don't know what, but that man is going to be preaching the word. That's all I can really tell you. And clearly he had something on his heart that he felt needed attention. So he poured that in there and, what have you. And I didn't ask because, again, I feel like that's private. Everyone knew partially why I went. And I've told y'all now several reasons that I went. But all I can tell you is that I experienced and was witnessing what I believe to be a modern day miracle. This, I'm going to help whomever I can. I'm not like keeping this and worshiping the bottle and putting it in a little box. No, I'm going to use it. I am going to contact a member of, a group that helps a lot of people. And I am going to, whomever it is that I can get to, I'm going to go and do exactly, because y'all will see the video, what God told him to tell us, the congregation, to do. But no miracle will happen inside a church because man has ruined that. So God is doing something different, is what he told the preacher. People are going to have to take it to the streets outside of the church to experience these miracles. It is their faith who aren't, like he said, that they're going to do away with the showboating and that kind of preacher. And I'm here to tell you, this guy was one of those preachers. It was pretty incredible. But I will find it. They'll find their way to me, or I'll find my way to them as far as this goes. And then I will report back to you on what I find out, and I will document it fully. Now, as far as what clearly, I really want to know what EVP, Spirit Box, things like that have to say about this. So I'm going to do a paranormal stream. Thanks for stopping by, Jen TT. Thank you for the early happy birthday. I hope you have a great day. Anyway, I believe that this is what it is. I believe it is a modern day miracle. I believe that we are at end of times, and this is further proof of that to me. And And I will be doing some things on my channel, and I will be explaining some things that I believe to be certain lines that I have crossed that I shouldn't have within the paranormal. Okay, because there are, look, I'm all about getting evidence and what have you, and I've pushed the envelope quite a bit, to the point that even some of my friends are like, "Don't do that, Kat." So I don't have to go to church and do what have you at a church. You're not going to hear me saying, I'm going to church every Sunday. No, I'm taking it outside of the church, and I'm going to share my story, only a shorter version. I'll have to figure out points of whatever. It's kind of hard to explain all of it without explaining all of it. So all I can tell you is my personal story, and I do believe 1,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000% that this is a miracle in my eyes, in everything that I've heard, in the pureness that I felt, in the stillness of my heart that I felt. It changed me to my core, and I'm not ever going to be the same again. I know that. And by the way, if you're wondering, this t-shirt and what have you, we got a Buc-ee's here in Royce City. I've never been there. I don't do short anything. That's right, girl. I don't. And Debbie can even tell you, I have to paint you a Monet. I cannot just give you a piece of paper with a sign on it. I have to paint a picture. So, hey, Medic Luna, I'm fantastic. That's right, modern extremists. That is, nothing else does matter. But you do have to show that in your actions, that it's not just words, it's your actions that come after. And I hope to be able to report back to you that there are other people that will come in contact with this anointing oil. And I will, of course, explain to them what the deal is. And I know there's going to be a lot of people. I don't know how many people I can help. I have heard stories of people that anoint people and the oil keeps filling back up. I can't actually tell you if that happens because I haven't gotten there yet. But so far, this is where we're at. And I've used this 25 times, and I've used it liberally. Okay. It only takes a drop or a touch. So I'm going to go out there and I am going to help. I'm going to help people. And I'm going to be sure. I've already asked for my healing and what have you. But now it's about other people. Especially it doesn't matter. Old, young, children, doesn't matter. Wherever it leads me to find them is where I will go. And that I will document, because I think, I don't know. It depends on the privacy of the person and whether they wish to have that way. But that's kind of the same way in the paranormal. You don't. It depends on the person. But if somebody becomes healed by something like this, then I know that they're going to want to talk about it. So, yes, you're right, Jim. Yes, absolutely, you are correct. I am only here to tell you my experience. So when we went to Buc-ee's yesterday, walked in, the first thing we see is this. And then the other thing is a white shirt with black that says pray. Everything, there was this shirt. And I'm like, everywhere I've turned, there's this sign. I turn on the TV. When I turn my TV on, there was somebody preaching on there, and I don't watch those shows. It's like everything. Every time I turn around, it's like, I'm surprised there's not a cross on the wall. Like, it's been really weird in a really good way, though. So anyway, that's my story. I appreciate everyone who came out to listen. And the next thing that you will see me do, and I will do it live. You know me with the whole live thing versus, live versus upload. So I hope to get a panel of people together and people who want to talk about this. And we can do some stuff and see. So anyway, I am expecting my haters to do what they do best and hate on me for this. And I don't care. So please know you can do your best, but I don't care. The one thing I will say is that I probably shouldn't say that actually. There's one person though that he used to be against witchcraft. He used to be against whatever. Was raised Catholic altar boy. And I'm watching this person go down the Lucifer path, and it's sad to see somebody being strung along by and being so heavily influenced. So, that really makes me sad. And it tells me that, no offense to anybody who, especially my dear friend LT, that is a Satanist. No anything on y'all. I don't want to see anybody well, anyway, I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead. Next time you'll see some stuff. I will probably be uploading some short videos about it. But for now, so maybe I was just supposed to share my stuff and not like do all that. So oh yeah, now that's different. I don't know what the actual difference is. Maybe I'll interview you and you can like talk to people about what the difference is. But I still love you regardless, and I will be posting the pictures on Twitter. And I appreciate you guys. God bless, and I hope somehow that who this is supposed to find, it finds and it touches. Because I know there are a lot of people watching this right now that needed to hear this story. I know you're there, and I know you needed to know that no matter what, it is not too late. There is no sin great. There's no worse. Any sin, they're all equal. So you murdered someone, or you what have you, look at the 10 Commandments. All sins are equal, and you can always repent, and you can always get. So the moral of the story is repent and then receive and then resurrect. You can always change your life. No matter how you're living it, you can change it. I think we're at end times, and I think that if people don't do something, it's not going to end well. So, yeah. So anyway, God bless, and I hope this video finds the person or people, many people who need this. If you need something and you are somewhat local, let me know. I will come. I will help you. I will what have you. So, Pearl, I'll talk to you about that later. Anyway, I love y'all, and I'll see you again really soon. Peace out.